ANC Youth League in Limpopo has urged the party to reject Stan Mathabatha's step-aside letter, saying he should simply resign if he feels his integrity is too big for the ANC. On Monday, Matabata wrote to ANC Secretary-General Fikile Mbalula asking to step aside as provincial chair, citing concerns over alleged misconduct. ANC Youth League Provincial Secretary Phineas Sebola joins us to discuss this a little bit further. Then, Phineas, thank you so much for the time. Appreciate it this morning. Just wanted to ask for your help in reconciling the criticism of Matabata in what you guys have called cowardice, with also what on the side is his stated concerns, genuine concerns of unethical conduct within the party. Good morning.
Good morning to you and all viewers at home. Look, we acknowledge that the ANC is facing most of its internal crisis. The ANC has many problems. So we've acknowledged that a long time ago as the ANC Youth League. We do acknowledge that to some particular extent, it's very difficult to bear the burden of the challenges that the ANC is facing. But now, when you are a provincial chairperson, you are a political head of an organization in the province. You are the first accounting officer. When there are challenges in the province, you are the one who's supposed to resolve them. The provincial chairperson of the ANC Limpopo Comrade Stan Mathabatha has been a provincial chairperson since 2014. This is the 11th year that is a provincial chairperson of the ANC in Limpopo. West Party has been a premier for over 10 years. He came in as a courtesy premier in 2013 and he ended his term last year. He served 2 terms. All administrative and political problems we have in this province are as a result of the leadership we have in this province. That has been led by him for over 10 years. Now, the ANC Youth League says it can't be Stan Mathabatha who says the ANC has problems and he can't stand it anymore. Who must resolve this? Who's responsible for these problems if it's not him? We're just refusing that Comrade Chupu accuses the ANC of a conduct that is unable to account for or he does not want to account for. We're only saying that it's his responsibility to resolve these problems. It can only mean that he's a coward by running away or is just being dramatic at his age that he says to us that he's open for engagement. A provincial chairperson who's supposed to provide direction is telling us that he's open for engagement in the time he's stepping aside.
Yeah, Phineas, but what, I mean, Mr. Matabata himself has put forward quite a few allegations, whether it be in the Vembe or the Waterberg regional conferences. And if those issues themselves are correct and valid, then questions would be that they would have needed to be investigated and addressed, whether it be internally or through some sort of a public platform. But if the leader himself feels like he cannot solve this, and that's why he's stepping aside, because he feels like there is greater rot within the party, does that not highlight an even greater concern for you?
We are concerned of the challenges that we're having, but furthermore, we are concerned that a leader of a caliber of Matabata who knows that there are internal processes that are being followed to resolve these issues. For example, the issues that is raising on conferences, especially of Vembe, including Peter Mugabe and others, are before the NEC. The NWC of the ANC has appointed a task team to address these issues. The members of the ANC who have concerns have sent their issues to the committee. The committee is still to give feedback. We are all waiting on that committee. He sits in the NEC, so it's not true that the issues of conferences that perhaps is mentioning are not being attended to. It's not true that ANC is not doing anything to address these issues. But also, as a leader of the ANC in the province, if he's saying if he does not think he can resolve these issues, we're not saying he must not leave and these other things. We just want him to be clear that he's saying that he can't be a provincial chairperson anymore. He should resign with immediate effect, and he must not be picky on where he's resigning. If he thinks he can't carry the burden of these problems that he's raising, he resigns also as a deputy minister, he resigns as a member of parliament, so that those who are available to serve in the ANC, leading the ANC is a voluntary process that you volunteer to serve the African National Congress. It's there on the declaration. If he's no longer available, we are only saying to him, he must just not stop being dramatic He must just pen a resignation letter and tell us that I quit, and therefore I'm allowing the ANC to remain with those who wants to lead it. Because really, what is being subjecting us to, it's like it's holding us at hostage. That we must now go around begging him at his
Yeah.
pension age. Now we must be begging him not
All
to
right.
resign. I don't think the ANC must accept that as a step. It must just be clear to him that this is not allowed. You are either resigning or you are going back to office to resume your responsibilities.
All right, fair enough. I want to ask you then about this, and I'm going to read something from the Limpopo Chronicle, if you will. It's something that actually came out yesterday, and it's an opinion piece, but it's an opinion piece by Dr. Chairperson, who you would know very well because he's been part of the ANC in Limpopo's legislature since 2019. And he goes on to write in this that senior officials accused or even found guilty of financial misconduct, dereliction of duty, or maladministration are not held accountable. He then goes on to say, at the heart of this crisis is a deeply flawed consequence management framework that lacks teeth, coherence, and political will. Though policies exist, they are poorly implemented, inconsistently enforced, and riddled with loopholes. It's not just one man, it's a structure that is flawed. Is that not of greater concern at this stage?
I think would agree that in South Africa, those who have accusations must prove and approach the court of law because these issues can be resolved in the court of law. There've been opportunities available for those. There are senior officials that we know who have been held accountable. People are going to court. Others have been arrested. Who have been accused, and those who accused them have proven. Now, we will not want to verify accusations. We agree. Look, we have made an admission that there's a crisis in the movement. Now, an ordinary member can go out and complain that there's a crisis and we are unable to resolve it. But a leader of an organization who has been there for if this crisis, if these challenges that Dr. Cheslani, a former provincial secretary of the Youth League, is raising are genuine, then for the past 10 years, this province has been led by Comrade Matabata. It means he has allowed this crisis to grow within the movement, has allowed this crisis to these problems to happen within the movement, and has been quiet all along. Now, when he's no longer a premier, he then wants to distance himself. We're not saying there are no problems. We're not saying perhaps what we are being accused of as a movement is not there. But we're saying the leadership must be able to take accountability. Dr. Cheslani is a member of parliament. At this point, is not leading the ANC. But a leader of the ANC cannot tell us that there are problems in the. He must. We are just saying that. We are just asking for him to either decide to be a leadership, because when you are leadership, you are supposed to face all storms that the organization is facing,
Yeah.
and the people of the province entirely. Now, we are just worried that instead of him resolving problems, instead of him providing direction. Chupu is a provincial chairperson. I don't know, maybe does not understand the
Sure.
importance of his position. He's he's the head of the ANC in the province. All of these things that we are accused of, he is the one who must account as
Phineas.
to how did they happen and how is he willing to resolve them as a leader of the ANC in the province.
Phineas, I suppose the only thing is he can't do it alone. And that is his cry now, is that there are deeper structures, there are more ingrained issues at play that he can't deal with on his own. He's possibly tried, and I'd hate to actually speak on his behalf, but that's what comes out of the letter that he put forward in his resignation. I'm going to ask, is the League prepared to acknowledge that some veteran leaders may indeed decide to step aside, right? Not necessarily out of cowardice, as has been put forward, but as a principled stand against the internal decay of the ANC?
Look, we have made an acknowledgement that not only veterans, even voters who are leaving us have been indicating challenges that we are facing, that they can't associate themselves with us anymore. We are only asking for Chopu not to step aside, but to decide whether he's resigning or is staying. That is what we are saying. Because it can't be him. It's him who must say to us that veterans are leaving us. It's him who must say to us, voters are leaving us. Let's sit down and resolve. We want him to take want him to take a lead in resolving these issues. We're not disputing the problems we're having. We respect Chupu very much. He has been there in the liberation struggle, he has been in the movement for a long time. He's a seasoned cadre, he's an experienced cadre of a movement. He's the one who's supposed to say to us, in this deep crisis we're in, because if that is the case, we're going to have a president resigning tomorrow saying that I can't stand this anymore. We'll have a a national chairperson resigning anymore, saying I can't stand this anymore.
Yeah.
We're saying leadership cannot run away from problems. That is what we're
Sure.
saying.
Okay.
All we're asking for is for leadership not to run away from problems. Part of the problems we have in this province is his absence. He has been very absent as a provincial chairperson for many years. We'll go to by-elections, we'll not see him.
Sure.
We'll have activities of the organization, we'll not see him. Where he's supposed to be there and address and give political direction. We have a political decay in the movement because those who are supposed to give political ideology and give political stance of the ANC from time to time have disappeared. And as a result, we are learning wrong things every day. It's because people like Stanley Mathabatha, who are
Sure.
supposed to be provincial chairpersons and give political directions every day, have been disappearing. Perhaps his proper resignation will then allow space for a new face for leadership to provide direction. Because
Phineas,
when he's stepping aside, this is our biggest concern. When he steps aside, we're uncertain. We're not even sure when he's going to come back, whether he will even come back.
Phineas, as the Youth League, have you been able to speak to Stan before this resignation or even after it?
Look, for the past 6 months after we elected, the first thing that we did when we entered into office, we requested to meet him. He is never available. We've been trying to the letter was circulating on Monday. We attempted to get hold of him. He's just an absent person. You just can't find him. We had to verify the letter through the ANC whether they received it or not. He's a very difficult person to find. For the past 6 months, the Youth League has been attempting to meet him to say, hey, chairperson, we've been elected, we're in office. These are issues that we think are affecting young people. These are issues that we think we must resolve together as leadership. There was a time where we even said to him, but chairman, we think you are not available. Let's meet virtual. We've even had meetings with him virtual. He is unable to provide direction.
Okay. Well, Phineas, he has been summoned by Luthuli House to explain his step-aside decision, and we'll hopefully get more word on that and perhaps provide some answers. Appreciate your time. Appreciate you as well for sharing your stance as the ANC Youth League in Limpopo. That's the provincial secretary for the Youth League.